Hey, my name is Kelly Kessler. I'm the host of the podcast Rewiring Health, and I'm obsessed with helping you stop feeling burnout, living in pain, and anxious about the future. You see, for years, I felt like I was never good enough. I repeated in my head, when I accomplish this, then I'll finally be happy. And even when I accomplished it, there was always emptiness in my heart. I always put others' needs before my own. Negative thoughts ran wild in my head, and I always struggled to truly feel like I could relax and be present. Well, through my journey of healing, rewiring my brain, regulating my nervous system, and reprogramming my subconscious mind, I have recovered from an eating disorder, I have healed from chronic back pain, and I can truly be present with my two boys and feel that I am living the life I was destined to live with purpose and with joy. And I'm here to guide you along the same journey of healing. So you wake up, your phone is right on the table next to you, and it feels almost like a magnet. You grab the phone, and before you know it, you subconsciously open every app, scroll through social media, you're on your email, you're looking at the news headlines, and you're feeling stressed. And this is how you start your day. I can't tell you how many times I did this, and it did not serve me. It set me up to be in a whirlwind of negativity, and I was just starting my day. And that's why I created the morning guide for perfectionists. So if you struggle with negativity throughout the day, and it's even worse in the morning because you don't have a routine, this will help you tremendously. It's literally everything that I implement that has helped me start my day with the right intentions and put myself into a place of inner harmony. So grab in the link below and enjoy. Welcome back to another episode of Rewiring Health. I'm your host, Kelly Kessler. And today we're going to talk about 3 strategies you can use to get to sleep quicker when you can't seem to turn your mind off. Now, we've all been there, myself included. We're laying in bed. It's been a long day and we're exhausted and we hit our head on the pillow and we just want to go to sleep, but our mind is not on the same wavelength that we would like it to be to actually fall asleep. And it's replaying everything that happened during the day, things that you said or things you saw or things you have to worry about tomorrow, the bill that's due, the aggravating thing you saw on the news, what somebody said to you. I mean, it just will figure out everything to make you not fall asleep. And I remember, one time, but there's many times I've been through this where literally I'm laying in bed and my husband does not have this issue. He will fall asleep very easily. And it's like that, resentful, like, how are you snoring and asleep so quickly when I'm laying here? It's like, I'm jealous of that, but there were so many nights I would just hear him snoring and I'm like, oh, gosh, I've been laying here for 2 hours. Like, I just want to fall asleep, like tossing and turning, like can't get to sleep, thinking about so many things. And it's so frustrating because you're like just watching the clock tick by and you're like, okay, cool. Like I have to wake up at 6 a.m. So now I'm down to like 5 hours of sleep, even if I fall asleep right now. And then you're like, I have to be productive tomorrow. Like I can't not sleep right now. And so it's this like battle between like trying to fall asleep and then like watching the clock, knowing like you have to like get to sleep. You don't have much time, not being able to turn your mind off, but like aggravate at yourself because you can't turn your mind off, which makes you stay up even more. And it just becomes this like perfect storm. And I remember just so many nights laying there, just frustrated with myself and like, what is wrong with me? Why can I not just fall asleep? It's so aggravating. And so I'm sure if you're listening to this, you probably saw the headline of this podcast and you listened to it because you've probably been there. So you may completely know what I'm talking about. And so to be able to fall asleep quicker is such a gift. And to be able to sleep, period, is such a gift because this is such a part of personal care. Like sleep often is the thing that just gets kind of like pushed in the back burner, like, oh, I'll sleep when everything's done. But like sleep is so important for so many things. Like it's when your brain is able to process what you went throughout the day in a subconscious way. It is a part of the cleaning process of your brain so that way it gets rid of the toxins and makes your brain tissue able to learn for the next day and be present. Again, sleep allows you to show up the next day fully present So it literally is essential. And so when we can't fall asleep, it can be like the rat race that just continues and we feel like we're just trying to catch up. So I'm going to share with you 3 ways that you can fall asleep quicker. And these are all actionable tips that you can do tonight so that you're not just laying there awake thinking of everything that you need to get done or things that didn't go well. So first actionable tip is going to be breath work. So breath is huge. And the reason why I love breath is because it is a voluntary action you can take to transition your nervous system from a place of stress to a place of relaxation. So the nervous system is really the center of why we can't sleep. When we have negative thoughts or we're criticizing ourselves or we feel overwhelmed or burn out from the day, and then we finally hit the pillow, our nervous system is in a place of stress. So when we're in a stressful position in our nervous system or state in our nervous system, it's essentially like we were running from a bear. That's how our nervous system perceives it, that there's some threat to our system. And of course, if there was a threat and we were actually being chased by a bear, do you think it'd be a good idea to fall asleep? No. So your nervous system is going to do everything in its power to keep you awake, because when we have these negative thoughts and these things running in our head, it's perceiving that there is a threat and it does not want you to fall asleep because we have to handle this threat before it can actually get to a place of relaxation. So that's why it's so important that we transition the nervous system to a state of rest, digest, restore. So again, that stress state is going to be known as the sympathetic nervous system, and that rest, digest, restore, sleep state is that parasympathetic nervous system. So breath is one of those voluntary actions we can take to transition ourselves into more of a parasympathetic response, so we can actually allow our system to say, you're safe, there's no immediate threat, you can fall asleep now. So one breathwork practice that I always love to start with is a physiological sigh. So again, there's a lot of breathwork practices you can do, but I find this one is just a really good starting place. It's pretty simple and it has been very effective for me and many of the people I've worked with. So what you're going to do is you're going to inhale through your nose for a count of 4. And then you're going to, when you feel like you have maximal air in your lungs, you're going to try to take just another little sip of oxygen or air. And then you're going to hold that for a count of 4 and then release through your mouth for a count of 6. So I'll just guide you along, and you can do this if you're listening or watching. So you're going to inhale for 4. Take another little sip. Hold for 4. And then slowly exhale through your mouth for 6. So it's probably not going to be enough just to do this once. You want to repeat this 6, 8, 10, however many times you need to feel more relaxed. And I guarantee you will feel a transition of your system where you start to feel like you're a little bit more relaxed with each one. So again, it's an inhale through your nose for a count of 4, another sip of air. So fully expanding the lungs, holding that for 4, and then exhaling for 6. So breath is going to be the first thing you're going to do when you feel like you can't sleep. So doing this in bed, you can do a seated, laying down, whatever you prefer. The next one is going to be progressive muscle relaxation. So what progressive muscle relaxation is that it's a contraction of the muscles, a hold, and then a gentle release of the muscle. And it usually works in a progressive way. So a lot of times you'll start with the toes contracting, moving up to the calves contracting, and then relaxing, quads contracting, relaxing, glutes contracting, relaxing, and then so on and so forth, all the way up through your face, even contracting and relaxing. So again, this can also be combined with breath. So you can contract, inhale, and then you can hold that while you hold the contraction, and then exhale as you release the contraction. And then you're moving through each body part progressively. So this works tremendously, because why this works is that you're using the breath and the nervous system to teach the body that it is in a relaxation mode. So when we're stressed, we are contracting muscles in a way that we're not even aware of. So when we have negative thoughts or we're just ruminating on things that happened, our body is responding to that as well. So we have to teach our body that it is in a relaxed state, so that our mind, which has a reciprocal relationship to the body, can say, oh yeah, there is no threat. It's okay to sleep at this time. So that is another tip to help you fall asleep quicker. So the third one is going to be gratitude. So gratitude is huge. This can either be gratitude in writing form, or it can just be thinking about it, thinking about things to be grateful for. And often, sometimes it's really hard to think of things to be grateful for when you're in a stress state. Like I remember so many times in my life when I had so much to be grateful for, and I look at that in hindsight, but at the time I couldn't see anything that I had to be grateful for because I was in such a bad place mentally. And so I want you to take this as the smallest things to be grateful for. You don't have to think of these overarching big things. And I find that's a big holdup for people. Like, okay, well, I thought of the same 5 things that I have to be grateful for. This is getting old. So it doesn't have to be these huge things in your life. It can literally be as simple as, you walked outside and you felt a nice breeze on your face. The sun was shining today. Maybe there's a nice plant in your room that you like to look at. Maybe there's a picture that you really enjoy and it brings you joy every time you look at it. It can literally be anything. It could be something your child said to you. It can be the biggest thing or the smallest thing, but I find the smallest things often hit more and you can see more things. And what I've noticed with gratitude in myself is that the minute you start opening yourself up to seeing and looking for things to be grateful for, you start seeing more and more and more. And you're like, oh my gosh, I could literally think for hours of all these things I have to be grateful for. So when you start, it is hard sometimes to see, but just know if you stick with it, it gets very easy to see that there's a lot to be grateful for in life. And why this works is that gratitude is going to basically turn off some of those negative streams of information. So we can't be grateful and also think of negative things in our life. Like it doesn't work. So when we focus our energy, our mental focus towards gratitude, we literally don't have the capacity to think of all the negative stuff and the things that we worry about to the extent that we were. So you're kind of squishing out that stuff while you're bringing gratitude in. This works tremendously well. And it also helps transition your nervous system to a place where it can relax, because again, it's saying there's not an immediate threat. You don't have to guard yourself. You don't have to be worrying about this. Like it's okay to sleep. You're safe. So the 3 of these, again, breath work, using that physiological sigh, progressive muscle relaxation, so going through the body, contracting and relaxing, combining with breath, and gratitude are the 3 key things to use when you feel like you can't fall asleep at night. So try that tonight. I guarantee you will notice a difference. And if it doesn't work 100% tonight, stick with it, because sometimes these things will take a few moments to use. But I guarantee you, if you stick with it for a few nights, you'll notice that sleep gets easier. You're going to have less sleep disturbances, and you'll start noticing that your whole system is changing in a way that is benefiting you. So give that a whirl. And also, if you find benefit in that, please leave a comment. I'd love to hear how it goes for you. Or if you have any questions about it, let me know. And if you found benefit in this, please share it with a friend. We want everybody to get a good night's sleep. This can't be shared enough. I wish I knew this and applied this years ago when I was struggling. So please share this again with someone who would also benefit from it. And if you haven't done so already, please follow the podcast, leave a review, and I'd love to hear from you. Thank you again for spending your precious time with me, and enjoy your day. Thank you for spending your precious time to listen to this episode of Rewiring Health. My mission is to inspire hope and healing through science-backed practices. If you found value in this, please share with 3 people and leave a review. By doing so, this message can be spread to those who need to hear it most. Also, to get updates on the most recent episodes, please subscribe to the channel. Thank you so much for being part of this community, and I am forever grateful for you.